Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're offering you the Team Guarantee on new and used vehicles. Included with every new vehicle is a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. And now, get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get the Team Guarantee at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend some time with you and yours, roughly some 48 hours ago. We start today's show, and it seems as though it is a never-ending episode in South Louisiana. You and I have watched in recent memory as the ages of individuals accused of violent crime get lower and lower and lower and lower. You may well remember just last week, we talked about the story of the 14-year-old in Lafayette arrested and accused of shooting and killing a 16-year-old girl. Well, this week, a 16-year-old teenager from New Orleans leads law enforcement on a multi-parish chase in a vehicle linked to a carjacking and a homicide. The 16-year-old causing, while fleeing from law enforcement, 4 accidents and also hitting a marked state police vehicle. This 16-year-old is now facing multiple counts of hit and run, reckless operation of a motor vehicle, obstruction of a highway, illegal possession of a handgun by a juvenile, along with additional traffic offenses. He is also a person of interest in a carjacking and homicide that occurred in Orleans Parish on May 22nd. Meanwhile, as we watch the ages of offenders get lower and lower and lower, a couple days ago, a 13-year-old in St. Tammany Parish is out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not only is he out at 3 o'clock in the morning, but is burglarizing a store. The alarm goes off. Law enforcement shows up, see this 13-year-old that fits the description, so they attempt to detain him. Of course, you know what happens then. A fight ensues, and a St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's deputy ends up being shot in the back by this 13-year-old. This juvenile is now facing a myriad of charges, at 13 years of age, attempted first-degree murder, resisting a police officer with force or violence, battery of a police officer, simple burglary, illegal possession of a handgun by a juvenile, and illegal possession of stolen goods. This individual, at 13 years of age, racking up in one episode more crimes than most people would ever imagine in a lifetime. Now, some of y'all are not going to like what I'm about to say. Guess what? Don't care. It's time. Somebody needs to say it. And you know your buddy Clarence, if it needs to be said and it's the truth, I'm going to say it. I don't care what your precious little feelings are like afterward. It needs to be said. If you can't raise them, stop having them. Stop having children if you're not willing to make the commitment to raise them with a respect for human life, if you're not going to raise them with the decency to respect the possessions of others, if you're not going to raise them to understand the sanctity of life, stop having them. And I'm not talking about aborting the children. Either put them up for adoption, or better yet, keep your legs closed. Keep them closed. Because society is sick and tired of you spitting out babies and just turning them loose like miscreants on the rest of society. 13 years old, y'all. The child hasn't been a teenager but a year. And he's out burglarizing businesses at 3 o'clock in the morning and shooting law enforcement. If you're not willing to raise them, close your legs and don't have them. Pure and simple. Of course, now, we live in a society, thank you Democrats, where it is now profitable for you to just spit them out. It's now convenient for you to have as many as you can, knowing that we're going to foot the bill for it. In the meantime, you bring them here, don't supervise them, turn them loose on society, and then you have the unmitigated gall to get upset when something happens while they are committing a criminal offense and they get hurt, injured, or worse. It starts at home, y'all. Pure and simple. It starts at home. And the very same people that you will hear making excuse after excuse after excuse, you're the problem. At some point, y'all, we got to set our foot down. At some point, we've got to acknowledge we've got a problem. You know, my late father, God bless him, I have more and more appreciation for that man with every passing day. My late father taught all of his children early in life, the first step in solving a problem is admitting that there is a problem. And pardon my French, but you'd be a damn fool if you don't think we have a problem. In 1 week, y'all, a 14-year-old shoots a 16-year-old girl and kills her. A 16-year-old leads law enforcement on a multi-parish chase. A 16-year-old, by the way, who's a person of interest in a carjacking and a homicide. And now a 13-year-old burglarizing a business, and when caught, then decides to fight with law enforcement, and the St. Tammany Parish deputy ends up shot. Fortunately for the deputy, by all accounts, he is expected to survive. Now, what do you think the odds are that there weren't some signs ahead of time that this 13-year-old was headed down this road. Well, Clarence, you got to understand, maybe the child's mom works the overnight shift. That's why the child was out 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, then she obviously left that child with someone who is irresponsible. 3 o'clock in the morning, unsupervised, out engaging not only in criminal activity, but then involved in an altercation because of his criminal conduct. A law enforcement officer gets shot. Y'all, we got a problem, Houston. Forgive me. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Shreveport, Birmingham. Do I need to continue? Miami, Newark, Kansas City, St. Louis, Oakland, LA, Portland, Seattle. Do you notice a recurring theme here? All of those cities that I just named with ungodly homicide rates and out of control crime, guess what party runs those cities and have been in charge for decades? And yet, some of y'all gonna still vote Democrat. You know the old adage, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink? Stick that horse's head in the water, and all you're going to do is drown the horse. That's all you're going to do. But at the end of the day, y'all, you can try to spin it any way you want. You can point the finger of blame wherever you want. But the fact of the matter is, this kind of stuff starts at home. End of discussion. It starts at home. And society, quite frankly, is about sick and tired of being sick and tired of paying the cost for children that you brought here and didn't care enough about them to be a responsible parent. Stop being your freaking child's friend and start being a parent. And maybe, just maybe, they'll thank you later on down the road because they won't end up either in Angola or the graveyard. Just an observation. First break of today's show. Speaking of kids and violence, our nation continues to mourn after 19 children and 2 adults killed in a mass shooting right next door in the Lone Star State. We'll talk about that when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, right where you've got it, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The Mazda CX-50. Confident on and off-road performance and intelligently designed utility inside and out.
The all-new Mazda CX-50 has arrived and is on sale right now at Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back as we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. It is something that sadly has become far too common an occurrence in our country. School shootings. Robb Elementary School in Texas now will probably share for certainly the foreseeable future the notoriety of Columbine. For those of us who have watched with dismay the shootings at schools across our country, Columbine and Sandy Hook had occupied almost exclusive spots in our memory as Americans. Robb Elementary now, over time, will probably supplant both of those. Let me say for the record, right off the bat, that I am one of those that is firmly of the opinion we don't have a gun problem in this country. We have an idiot and mentally unstable people with guns problem in this country. In all of the instances that have now gained notoriety in the annals of school shootings in our country, we all know all of these individuals had underlying mental, sociological problems that were manifesting themselves before the violence occurred. What is particularly disheartening to me as an American is the politicization of a horrible incident like this. Now listen, I get it. I understand. I've been doing this long enough to know everything is political. And I understand the page from the liberal playbook to never let a good crisis go to waste. I get that. But try telling that to the parents of these darling children. Try telling that to the children of the two adults that were killed. To play politics and try to push an agenda over the misery, the suffering, and the deaths of innocent children is disgusting. course, now, blame me for growing up in an era where people had shame. Blame me for being of the opinion that some things you just don't stoop low enough to do. There was a time in this country where you would say to yourself, you know what? As horrible as this is, I'm just going to grieve with the families. I'm going to grieve with my country. I'm going to put the politics aside and address this later on. My, how far we have strayed, huh? Now, the mainstream media, and particularly those on the left, before the blood dries, before the wounds have stopped bleeding, there they go, already trying to make political hay out of somebody else's misery. But you know what's really telling here? The same people, the majority of them, that are going to rail the loudest, the longest, and the hardest about this loss of innocent, young human life. Many of them are the same people that are of the opinion it's okay to kill them if they're still in the womb. You know, stuff starts at the top, y'all, and it rolls downhill. And when we have a country whose government has sanctioned, and one of the two major political parties continues to endorse wholeheartedly killing children in the womb, what do we really think is going to happen? We are teaching them at an ever younger age that there is no sanctity to human life. And then we want to act all outraged and all concerned when children do what children do. They form an opinion based on what society tells them is acceptable. These same people that now want to take the hands of law-abiding citizens and tie them up when it comes to owning a weapon to protect themselves, these same people are the ones that push defund the police. These same people are the ones, Steve Kerr, NBA coach, these are the same ones that railed against putting armed school resource officers on campus. If you really, truly cared about these lives, by now, certainly, because of the benefit of hindsight, considering you didn't have enough sense to figure this out up front, gun-free zones around schools, that simply equates to a target-rich environment. They know full well, it's a gun-free zone, which means I'll be the only one with a gun, which means you figure out the rest from there. But yet, they will feign righteous indignation. They will have you believe that they're so concerned. But typically, this is how the left operates. Now, take into account the totality of this, if you will. You want to defund the police. Some of them want to abolish the police. Now, because of this most recent incident, they want to take the guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens. Let me ask you something. Do you really, truly, honestly think that if these idiots dismantle the Second Amendment, do you really think the criminal element and the mentally unstable are going to say, oh, well, got to turn in my gun because, They changed the law. Son of a gun can't own it anymore. They don't care about the laws right now. And the fact of the matter is, history is supposed to be the best teacher. What's the old adage? Experience is the best teacher. Look at Chicago. Look at New York. The most stringent gun laws in all of America. And I think you already know what the homicide rates are like in Chicago and New York. And I'm not a betting man. Y'all know this. Y'all know. Clarence is not a betting man. If you want to throw your money away, that's on you. But at the end of the day, not being a betting man, I'll still bet you $10 to a donut. At the end of the day, nothing, without exception, well, Democrats may think, since we're dealing with feelings, maybe we could talk to them and they would change their minds. Forgive me. But that's what it makes me and Marty want to do. At the end of the day, if you really think that Chicago and New York are by themselves in this, my friend, you are sadly mistaken. Go down the list. All the major cities with all the homicide problems, all the crime problems, go down the list and then you tell me how many times it was a law-abiding citizen that carried this out. Go through the list and tell me how many times this came completely out of the blue. There were no warning signs at all. Listen, y'all, we may, for the next 20 years, be trying to come to grips with the psychological damage done to this country from COVID-19. We may not ever know the full extent of just how much we have damaged young people in our response to COVID, with the lockdowns, the antisocial behavior, the whole nine. It is manifesting itself. So we, as society, have to do a better job of recognizing the signals and holding people accountable for their actions. When all is said and done, y'all, nothing stops a bad guy with a gun better than a good guy with a gun. You know, it's going to be interesting to see all the folks that demonized the Border Patrol in recent memory. You do realize it was Border Patrol agents who were off duty that put themselves in harm's way to bring that horrible episode to an end. Oh, that's right. That doesn't fit the narrative. Never mind. Bottom of the hour break. Let me get this done. When we come back, when is the last time you remember 83% of Americans agreeing on anything? We'll talk about that when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're offering you the Team Guarantee on new and used vehicles. Included with every new vehicle is a lifetime limited powertrain warranty. And now, get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get the Team Guarantee at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I typically, just for the sake of individuals that may be just tuning in at any given part of the show, sometimes assign a moniker, a label, if you will, to a segment. This one would fall squarely in the category of the vernacular of the streets when I would say, you see how they play you? Remember, not so very long ago, the state of Georgia decided, you know what, looking at our elections system, we have some things here that we need to tighten up. In the wake of the last presidential election, many states, looking at irregular voting records, irregular counts, ballot stuffing, ballot harvesting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, many states realized, we've got some serious potential for abuse. And in order to ensure the integrity of the process, we need to fix this. So the state of Georgia, and of course, looking at all the aftermath of the last presidential election, was one of the first to move on it. And oh my God, the left and the mainstream media lost their collective minds. They're trying to stop black people from voting. They don't want black people to be able to vote. Yada, yada, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Went so far as to have Major League Baseball remove the All-Star game from Atlanta and transfer it to Denver, Colorado. Never mind the fact, mind you, and this is how they play it. Never mind the fact that Colorado's voting laws are a whole lot stricter than Georgia's. But why even bother with the facts? It cost the merchants of Atlanta, give you a hint what these merchants look like, just like me, cost them $120 million in revenue. But that's okay. We made darn sure that people knew that this measure that they passed is just designed to deny black people the right to vote. So last week, when elections started in Georgia, we now find out, according to the Georgia Secretary of State, that from the last election to this one, this time, after the law was passed and enacted to make it harder for black people to vote, 102,056 more black people voted. But wait, it's supposed to make it harder for black people to vote. That's what they were doing. That's why we moved the game from Atlanta to Colorado. 102,056 more black people voted in Georgia, which, by the way, is 3 times more black people that voted in Georgia in 2018. Now, all that, insert your favorite expletive that I have already deleted here, all this crap that they sold us, Stacey Abrams, Joe Biden, MLB commissioner, you name it. We now find out it was a load of horse hockey. I'm being kind because I know there's some young people that watch. We all know now. But you know what I'm waiting on? And this is rhetorical because we all know this will never happen. I'm waiting on Delta Airlines, Coca-Cola, Major League Baseball to start the apology tour. I mean, after all, you lied to us and told us this is specifically designed. Remember Jim Crow 2.0? Remember that? Not only has black voter participation tripled since 2018, but you cost the black merchants of Atlanta in excess of $120 million in revenue in one weekend. Still think they're looking out for your best interest? You know, America, one of the things that I love about my country is that we are a forgiving group of people. There is nothing we love more than a good comeback story. We understand as Americans, there but by the grace of God go I. On any given day, depending on the circumstances, just about anybody might do something stupid. But we revel, at least I do, in the fact that America is a land of second chances. America is a place where it doesn't really matter how egregious the offense prior happened to be. If you are contrite if you are humbled by your wrongdoing, if you are truly repentant, there's nothing that Americans, there's no level that we will not strive to get to forgive you. Of course, now, that's pretty much a conservative trait. On the other hand, liberals, they'll never apologize for anything. You lied to the American people, and the numbers show it. You painted this bill as Jim Crow 2.0. You cost these merchants in excess of $120 million in revenue. Not only that, you besmirched the name of an entire state in this union. And now that we find out it was all a lie, the old folks say, you so quiet you could hear a rat pee on cotton. Don't hear a word. Don't hear a freaking peep out of these people. They're hoping, and many of them could be right, that you've forgotten about it. They're hoping that the damage they did to America's psyche, racist, 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 racist. They're hoping the damage done to your psyche is such that you won't even think about them apologizing. My late father, God bless him, was spot on when he taught his children the first step in solving a problem is acknowledging that there is one. Once you do that, then the next step in the process is going to the person or the party that you have offended, offer a heartfelt apology, and tell that person and or party your plans to be sure this never, ever happens again. Kind of sounds like Democrats didn't have a dad like Sergeant Edward C. Buggs. Just saying. Just saying. Sadly, it's not the first time they have lied to us. And if you have one functioning brain cell, you are aware it's probably not going to be the last time. I just ask my friends, my fellow Americans, I ask that you file this away. Because in recent memory, the lies have been adding up fast and furious. Well, there's no problem at the border. Well, inflation is transitory. Crime's not out of control in major cities in America. Do I need to continue? These people will lie to you straight to your face. You know, it's one thing if you're talking with someone, they know they're lying, you know they're lying. They can't look you in the face. They're telling you what they're telling you, and they're doing like this because they can't look you in the face. These folk will look you dead in your face and lie to you like 40 going north. Now, they are who they are, and they do what they do. I just hope, my fellow Americans, that you'll remember and govern yourself accordingly. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Buck Show. My sincerest apologies, guys and girls. Heading into the prior segment, I teased something that, a little bit more, if you would, for me, please, sir. Thank you kindly. I teased something that I didn't get to. I asked, heading out of that segment and into the preceding segment, when is the last time you remember 83% of Americans agreeing on anything? I ran out of time actually to answer the question. I understand polling as much as the next person. I can't begin to tell you the number of polls over 42 years of broadcasting I have referenced or delved into. I think we all agree. Rasmussen, Gallup, probably two of the still respected polling organizations in America. Their latest poll from Gallup shows 83% of Americans are dissatisfied with how things are going across the country. You know, irony is one of those things in the human experience that even though it's inanimate, still seems to have a sense of humor. Joe Biden touted himself in running in the last presidential campaign as being the uniter in chief. Joe Biden said he was going to pull all of America together. Well, he's managed to do that. 83% of us say the country is going down the toilet. Little did we know at the time that he would, in fact, pull us all together. We all agreed. You're horrible. Continuing on. Been to the gas pump lately? Yep. To show you part and parcel why 83% of our fellow Americans say our country's going down the toilet. If you think gas prices are bad, look at diesel. Diesel prices are just gone berserk. So, what does the Uniter-in-Chief decide to do? Well, he made a big to-do this week about announcing that we have on the East Coast of the United States what is a regional equivalent of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, but it deals with diesel. As you well know, on the East Coast, because of nor'easters and winter climate and the like, they do a whole lot with home heating oil, with diesel, etc., etc. There is a reserve of 1 million barrels of diesel. And the Uniter-in-Chief announcing this week, we're going to release that. We're going to see if we can help to bring down the cost of diesel. Because anybody with one iota of common sense understands, okay, everything I buy comes off a truck. Yeah, but they bring stuff in on the ships. Right, but they unload it off the ship and they put it on a truck and send it where it needs to go. Yeah, but they bring stuff in by train too. Right, they bring it in, they take it off the train, they put it on a truck, and the truck takes it where it needs to go. So if it's costing truckers more to bring stuff where it needs to go, you don't really think they're just going to eat that increase, do you? Of course not. The whole purpose of being in business is to make a profit. Otherwise, you go out of business. So they're going to pass that cost along to us. But the Uniter-in-Chief, his fraudulency, yeah, I said it, decides, well, to get the price down, we're going to release this 1 million barrels. So reporters, finally, doing a reporter's job, start doing a little research. I know it's hard to wrap my mind around reporters actually asking real questions. Oh my God, what is the world coming to? They found out this 1 million barrels of diesel that he's going to release is enough to last about, wait for it, 15 hours. Thanks, Joe. Way to go, Brandon. The East Coast will use this 1 million barrels in about 15 hours, less than a day. And we will be right back where we were before. Until you go buy your electric vehicle. Wink, wink. You know, it is typical of these people, and yeah, I said it. It's typical of these people, how they sell you something under the guise of this, when in actuality, it's this. For example, The Biden and Harris administration and those on the left want you to believe we're saving the planet by going with the electric vehicles. You know what they haven't told you? Two things. Number one, do you have any idea how much mining, destructive to the environment, has to take place to mine the precious metals, toxic metals, to build the batteries for these vehicles, all the cobalt, all the poisonous chemicals that have to be mined to produce the batteries for these cars? They also will not tell you, because they have no plan to address it, in 15, 20 years from now, when all these batteries are no longer usable, still chocked full of toxic rare earth minerals, you are talking about potentially the biggest environmental disaster in the history of our planet. But they sell it to you under the guise of saving the planet. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. Of course, now, if anything that you've heard me say today comes as news to you, maybe, just maybe, that's a sign that you need to start getting your news from someplace else. Just an observation. Just an observation. When you find yourself saying to yourself, self say, huh? You like that one, huh? When you find yourself going, wait a minute, I didn't know about that. Don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. Do your own research. And then you will find the truth. Of course, now, they are desperately hoping that you never open your eyes enough to see. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bug Show. Come on by. Tuesdays, Thursdays, we'd love to see you. Now, that being said, my time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But this day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you do realize by now that he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. God bless.